2, 1.
This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre. You're listening to the WWE podcast.
I know I don't have a voicemail, and I don't participate in the mailbag every week as much anymore. I wish I could.
The one that everybody wants, me.
That's all, so I do apologize to the podcast family for that.
I get to the way we get it, man. You gotta live your life. Is that right? Live your life.
But I was able to squeeze in.
You're gonna acknowledge me.
All right, everybody, welcome to the WWE Podcast Mailbag for this Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. It is time for the Mailbag for this Royal Rumble week, and since it's a pay-per-view week, that means Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan are here, and they're here to talk to you guys and answer your emails. So that's what we're going to do. But first, a couple of things. First of all, if you guys want to get ad-free, Patreon.com/WWE Podcast or Apple Podcasts has an ad-free button, and we have a 1-week free trial going on, which means for 1 week, including the Rumble, you can get all of our shows ad-free for 7 whole days. That'll include the Royal Rumble, and after that, it's just $2.99 a month on Apple Podcasts, so not bad. And if you go yearly, you get 2 months for free. So we're going to get to the mailbag in just a minute, and Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan as well. But again, guys, I really invite you to join, because right now it's the biggest time of the year as a wrestling fan, and we've got some really, really big storylines that are about to explode in WWE, and there's no better time, no better place, and no better platform to be on than one that has wrestling fans on it that are as passionate as you, and that is something that is offered to you on Patreon as well, because you have a Discord server that you can chat with all the other passionate wrestling fans. So I know I'm plugging this a little bit harder, but it is something that I know a lot of you love, is the Discord server. So that's available to you on Patreon. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan also have a new show that's coming out here on the WWE Podcast, and I will be playing that for you, the ad for it, if you will, kind of a bit of a teaser or preview of it, right at the end of this segment for the voicemails, leading into Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan answering your emails. So look out for that. That'll be kind of the transition spot before we get to the main event of those two very fine individuals covering the email. So let's jump into the voicemails. And what better way to jump into those voicemails than Mr. DJ Kuzmo? Here we go.
WWE Podcast World, this is DJ Kuzmo back at it again on your Mailbag show. Record you live once again on a Wednesday morning. And before we get to the Beer My Heart Report, a quick moment of silence for my New York Football Giants. Now, this past weekend, we did have the divisional round, and unfortunately, my New York Football Giants lost in a very embarrassing way to the Philadelphia Eagles. Those damn pesky Philadelphia Eagles by the score of 38-7. And I gotta say, even though we did lose in a very embarrassing way, we did have a good season. So shout out to all my New York Giants fans. Shout out to Elvis Escobar. Shout out to Gravy Montana and all my Giants fans. We had a good season. Definitely Coach Daboll should win Coach of the Year for the NFC. And like I said, this was a good year for our team. Nobody expected us to get this far into the playoffs. I'm just a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a chance to get to the NFC Championship game and probably make some more noise. So I don't want to wish any luck to the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, I'm talking to you, G-Man, and the whole fly Eagles, fly, those pesky Philadelphia Eagles. I hope you guys lose in the NFC Championship game to the 49ers, or maybe you guys lose to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Who Dey Nation in the Super Bowl, because let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh my goodness, we had on a Sunday, snowing heavy in Buffalo. Home field advantage was on the Buffalo Bills side, and they absolutely got smacked all over the football field by the score of 27-10 by the Cincinnati Bengals and the Who Dey Nation. Absolutely nobody thought that they would win this game. Nobody thought that they would make this incredible upset in the divisional round against those Buffalo Bills, who are the clear favorite. Now, with that being said, I am all the way with the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrows and the Who Dey Nation. Great job on offense. Great job on defense as these guys were so focused. I don't know about the Buffalo Bills because at times it felt like the Buffalo Bills was playing on the road and the Cincinnati Bengals was playing at home. I don't know what's going on in Buffalo with the Bills, but I got to give a shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Who Day Nation. So I'm going with Cincinnati all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, I know this is not a football podcast, so let's dial it back to the WWE Unofficial Podcast Mailbag with the Veer Mahan Report. But before we get to the Veer Mahan Report, I want to shed light. On something interesting that came to my mind about WrestleMania. Now, I know that this weekend is the Royal Rumble, but I want to just jump a couple of months ahead because we have WrestleMania. And the thought came to my mind that Roman Reigns. Now, Matt, are you listening to me, Matt? Are you listening to me? Here's an idea that came to my mind. So, Roman Reigns has main evented in, of course, WrestleMania 2021 when he had the triple threat match with Daniel Bryan and Edge, and of course, he won the Universal title again. Last year, he had the Unified Championship match with Brock Lesnar, and of course, Roman Reigns won that match in a kind of a short a quick minute fashion. It wasn't a long match, but of course, he won the championship last year at WrestleMania, both of them, by the way. So now he's a unified champion. So the question came to my mind is, what is next for Roman Reigns to do at WrestleMania? What is the thing that he has not done? And it came to my mind that Roman Reigns has not main evented both nights. Now, no offense to the women's division, no offense to Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and I guess Ronda Rousey, and maybe Rhea Ripley, but what if Roman Reigns main evented both night 1 and night 2? Let's say he main events night 1 against the winner of the Rumble. Let's say night 2 he goes up against the winner of the Elimination Chamber, because we do have Elimination Chamber. But I'm just throwing that idea because Roman Reigns seems to have conquered almost everything in his career. So why not main event back-to-back nights at WrestleMania? He's not going to lose the titles. Newsflash, guys. He's not going to lose the titles. I want him to hold on to those titles, hopefully until SummerSlam, where the story all began in 2020 when he came back to WWE as the heel that he is. Now, before I lose my train of thought, just an idea, Matt. Now, let's get to your favorite show to come on every single week on the Mailbag, and I'm talking about the Veer Mahan Report. Now, the Veer Mahan Report has been brought to you by a brand new podcast that is coming to your ears this coming Monday. I'm talking about January 30th, and that is none other than Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan as they debut their Monday morning show called Good Morning WWE. Now, this is a morning show where they talk about the news, they talk about the rumors, what's going on in the WWE. So, ladies and gents, you wanna keep your ears locked. You wanna get yourselves ready for January 30th, this coming Monday, as we debut a new show for the WWE Unofficial Podcast family in the Good Morning WWE with our very own Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan. Now, let's get to the Veer Mahan Report. Now, the Veer Mahan Report took place last night on NXT, and we did finally get the return. After 2 weeks of mourning for the loss of his father, we got the return of Veer Mahan and Sangha, and of course, Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, and they end this year together again in full force as they came in to interrupt an in-ring promo from the Creed brothers, talking about their future, talking about their progression in NXT, and lo and behold, we got the end this year. And of course, none other than Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, put out a challenge to say that his guys is 100% ready to go up against the Creed brothers. And he put out a challenge and said that next week, that's right, he said next week that he wants to see that none other than the Creed brothers go up against his guys of the end this year of Veer Mahan and Sangha. And of course, Ivy Nile, a member of Diamond Mine associated with the Creed brothers, said, you're on. We're going to have this match next week. So, lo and behold, guys, it's finally happening. We all wanted for this match to happen at New Year's Eve, but of course, Veer Mahan was not there. But Veer Mahan and Sangha of the Indus will be there not this week, but next week, Tuesday on NXT in a tag team match. I don't know what the stipulations are, but I can't wait. I'm excited because my guy, Veer Mahan, is back. And with that being said, I know I'm going over my time. Have a blessed week. Enjoy Royal Rumble. Be kind to one another. Stay loose, my friends, and peace.
DJ. Yeah, look, we don't talk about football a lot on this show. It's a wrestling show, but that said, being a Giants fan, yeah, it's a bittersweet ending to the season. And I mean, really, what could you have expected from the Giants? I mean, they have outperformed on every level this season. They weren't supposed to be here to begin with. And to the fact that they made the playoffs and then won a round in the playoffs, you can't look at it anything other than a successful season based on expectations. Now, does it sting and does it take a little bit away from their season, the way that they embarrassingly went out against the Eagles? Yeah, it does. A divisional opponent. They lost to the Eagles 3 times this year. I don't think they were really good except, did they beat the Cowboys at all? I don't think they beat the Cowboys at all. I think they beat the Commanders once and then they tied once. So they are not good divisionally, and that's going to have to improve in a very quick and short order if they want to make any more noise in the playoffs in 2023 into 2024. Certainly, yeah, and the Eagles taking on the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to beat the Eagles. I do. I think the 49ers are the hottest team in football right now. And, on the other side of things, you have the Chiefs and the Bengals. I think you're right. I think the Bengals go. I don't think the Chiefs are in a really in that dominant form that we've seen in years past. And didn't Mahomes get injured? I think Mahomes got injured in the last game. I didn't watch it very closely, but that said, yeah, as long as the Eagles don't win, I'm with you. I'm not an Eagles fan. I hope for me, I hope it's Bengals and 49ers in the Super Bowl, and the Eagles stay away. But let's talk about Roman Reigns and your thoughts about him and in WrestleMania, where he doesn't lose any of the belts and defends on both nights and main events both nights. Again, DJ, this is another one of the many solutions that are very plausible. There are dozens of solutions that are plausible at this point because we don't have any answers. It's speculatory. Hell, when you're asking me, what do I think, what is Roman Reigns left to do? Well, has he faced Stone Cold Steve Austin? I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm sure you've heard the report coming out from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, and the fact that they have offered Stone Cold a large sum of money to take on Roman Reigns at this year's WrestleMania is a big deal. I mean, him and Austin versus Roman at WrestleMania would be a massive deal, and I'm all for it. And now I actually don't want Roman on both nights, to be honest with you, for a couple of reasons. I know it has been speculated over the last several months that Roman could do double duty. I don't want that. I want the belt off of Roman. I want that unification stipulation to be expired, and maybe that will come to light that, the unification was only for a year. We didn't look at the fine print. That's fine. Take the belt off Roman without having Roman take a loss. Bring a belt back to Raw. It's win-win all the way around. The Universal Championship is what started the streak, and it'll continue after he defends it against Stone Cold. If he defends it against Stone Cold, I think Stone Cold will take a loss there, and Roman Reigns will beat Austin. And there's just, I don't think there's a reason for Roman to do 2 nights, because that to me it's overkill, where someone else in that position could benefit from it. Again, I keep pointing to Seth Rollins, but like somebody, the ilk of Seth Rollins main eventing WrestleMania, as well as Cody Rhodes in that conversation, where you could focus all of your energy on Stone Cold versus Roman Reigns, and then you could have the other championship benefit the other show. It really can't be 1,000,000% about Roman Reigns. I don't care how good the storyline is. You can't cannibalize everything. You can't just go scorched earth and just blow up everything and put everyone to the side and, I think, steal opportunities or really, I don't know if steal's the right word, but neglect opportunities for other stars, other men and women that could main event. Doesn't have to be the men. It could be the women main eventing. We've seen that happen the last several years. That's my point. I'm sticking to it. But the Veer Mahan Report, thank you so much. And thanks for the plug for Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan. That plug is coming in just a few minutes as well. And let's get to our next voicemail. Thank you, DJ.
Hello, WWE Podcast. Your 2 times European champion, Alex the French guy here. Just wanted to address, just what you said, Matt, about, karma or something. I announced that I had a match against my master's degree, one last match, which I won, but they didn't want to hand me the title yet because of administration stuff. I still have to manage some stuff about it. So, it's just like what I think is whenever I announce something, it doesn't happen. I'm not sure 100%. If I'm not, now it's just like me. It just happens to me all the time. And, I have to be sure 100% that something is going to happen to announce it. Otherwise, I don't. So for now on, I'm still your European champion, not your master European champion yet. And we'll see in the next weeks how it goes. So given that, we are having once again about the European champion, you said that someone needs to challenge me for the title. Matt, it's not that someone wants to, I think everyone in the podcast wants to challenge for the title. They just know it's a waste of time. They know that they will end up just like the Pebble, not the Rock, of course, losing the title to me, So given that, about wrestling stuff, we are having a very good week with the Royal Rumble. I am also very happy that this year we still have some surprises. I think, like everybody, that Cody Rhodes will win. But one thing I'm waiting maybe even more is the return of the broski Zack Ryder. Because when I was younger, it was one of my favorite superstars, which adapted to the PG era and to the fans that were very young. I really admire his career in a whole. I really hope he comes back and gets some good storyline. Okay, it doesn't get a title shot. It's okay. But Zack Ryder, I'm waiting for you in this Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes, everything else. Given that, have a blessing Royal Rumble, and see you next week, guys.
I think that was a threat. Was that a threat to the entire WWE podcast listener base? No one can take you out? Well, I'm not saying I can. I'm not challenging you. I wouldn't dare. But if anybody wants to, hey, I guess the floor is open. He's put out an open challenge. I think, absolutely happy Royal Rumble season, happy WrestleMania season, as we are about to dive into the real fun part of being a wrestling fan, the real fun season. And you'll notice that in your own personal lives, that those fans in your life that are the fringe fans, the ones that come out right around Rumble, they seemingly just by coincidence, just by happenstance, start to peek in the window of wrestling, and they go, wait, what's going on? It's WrestleMania. Let me check out the Rumble. And then they come back in for WrestleMania, and then they disappear, as quickly as they came right after WrestleMania. In other words, they only watch wrestling or acknowledge that wrestling exists when it's quote unquote socially acceptable. You'll notice that I have people like that in my life as well. And it is what it is. We all know as wrestling fans what the criticisms are. And I could go into a whole show about the criticisms of pro wrestling. Maybe I'll do that for an After Dark show when I'm unleashed and I don't have to worry about not cussing. But if you're worried about, Alex, Mr. European Champion, if you're concerned about the universe conspiring against you and you don't declare anything, unless you're 100% sure it's going to happen, maybe just don't declare anything and just kind of internally do it, right? If you think that the universe is conspiring against you, just keep things to yourself, man, right? And I'm not saying for you to be negative and never declare anything that you want or hope will happen or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe the universe is out to get you. So, all right. Thanks, Alex. Looking forward to your reaction about the Rumble. I'm sure next week's going to be a crazy mailbag. Let's get to our next one.
This is Josh coming from Kansas City, Missouri again. Morning after WWE 30. Just want to give my 2 cents on it. I thought it was great. The opening promo was outstanding. And it makes me really want to see Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns for the title. A lot happened last night. That was outstanding. I heard rumors that I cut some sections short. Wish it wasn't to the Bayley and I'm blanking on her name. The cage match. I really wish it wouldn't have cut that short, but overall I really enjoyed it. Made me really excited to see more of LA Knight, Montez Ford's solo run. And it's pretty cool. SmackDown's coming to KC on March 17th, I believe. Trying to hit that up with my dad, front row. Tickets are a little pricey, but definitely worth it. I haven't been up there since like 2010, so really excited about the state of the WWE right now. Hopefully Vince doesn't screw anything up and kind of keep the trend rolling. Not a big fan of Cody Rhodes, but we'll see how he looks in the Royal Rumble. But just excited about the show last night, man. Have a good one.
Hey, Josh, welcome back. Good to hear from you. And I agree about the opening segment of Raw. It was easily the best part of Raw. And I know that I brought on Thomas Poole, and we had a great conversation, by the way, if you haven't checked out our Raw review. Not you specifically, Josh, but the general audience here. I brought on a patron, and he attended in person Raw 30, and we got a great in-person perspective. And he had a very positive outlook, and I generally did too. But there was some negative feelings I held back because I didn't want to dampen the mood. But without a doubt, the beginning of the show, when it was focused on Sami Zayn, Raw was really good. When they brought out nostalgic acts, it got a little questionable and shaky. It wasn't embarrassing, as a whole. I think that as a whole, Raw 30 was a nostalgic show, and it did what it needed to do. And I'll leave the negativity for others. But the one thing I would say about if you're going to kind of split hairs about the Open, again, let me just preface this by saying I'm with you. I think it was a very well done segment. It had everyone hooked from start to finish 100%. But there have been some what do you call it, chatter out there from criticism perspective. Sorry guys, it's late tonight. I'm not really good at speaking right now. But from a critical perspective, that's the word, that they feel as though WWE skipped a chapter between last week and all of a sudden Sami Zayn's on trial, and all of a sudden Paul Heyman has completely turned on Sami. It feels like there was a missing chapter or two from one extreme to the other. And I totally hear that. However, I think there's two things going on with that. If people are concerned about the jarring change from Paul Heyman and like we missed a chapter, I think there's two things. Number one, The Rock, it seems as if he maybe notified WWE in the last week he wasn't going to be able to make Mania, because if you remember, they originally were going to do the All Generations of the Bloodline celebration, which was I think a perfect setup for The Rock. And given that there was reports at the same time that The Rock wasn't going to make Mania, they changed the Raw segment with the Bloodline to Sami Zayn on trial. So I think they just kind of shifted gears, and they had to. So that's one reason that I think that feels like that. Also, they need to get this storyline moving. They need to continue to push this forward, and they did in a big way. Also, Paul Heyman is going to do the bidding of Roman Reigns at any given moment. He will turn on anyone to grovel to the tribal chief. I mean, he will turn on anyone at any time for any reason at the whims of Roman Reigns. And at just if someone looks at Roman wrong, Paul Heyman will turn on them. That's just who Paul Heyman is. I mean, that is another, I guess, justification for the jarring change in Paul Heyman's approach to Sami. But overall, I'm with you. I thought it was a perfectly done segment, and makes me very interested to see what the final test is at the Royal Rumble. I still am of the belief that the final test for Sami is going to be after Roman wins, because let's be honest, he's going to beat Kevin Owens by hook or crook. is Sami Zayn is going to be tested to take out Kevin Owens at the end of the match, where Kevin's left laying. Roman wants to inflict more damage. He goes for maybe a concerto, or maybe even wraps a chair around the neck of Kevin and tells Sami to get into the ring and says, Sami, do it. And Sami's hesitant, and doesn't do it. And then he is beaten down by Roman and beaten down brutally. And that's when things completely collapse for Sami Zayn. I think that is my best guess as to what happens on Sunday. Again, you guys will be able to hear my full preview and prediction show in the next day or two. And I'm trying to bring on a co-host for that. If I don't have a co-host, it's just going to be me. But I want to get that out to you because I have some very, very passionate thoughts about the Rumble. It's a fascinating pay-per-view. So, all right. Thanks so much, Josh. And let's get to our next voicemail.
Hi, Matt. So, I have an NXT review from January 18th I would like you to listen to. Here it is.
We thought so. Let's get the show started.
This is the first time this has happened when I have listened to NXT review. Now listen to the normal review. The review is January 11th of this year. And it sounds normal.
All right. Hey, Dennis, listen. I'm glad you let me know about that because I tried to edit that part out. It's not anything with your system. It's not anything with anybody's. If you heard that kind of speed up at the beginning of the NXT show, there was just a technical glitch with the first minute of the show that I thought I edited out. And if I didn't, I'm going to have to go back and fix it. So it's nothing on anybody's end. If you heard the first couple of minutes of the NXT show sound like a chipmunk, it was just simply a technical glitch on our end. So we will have that fixed. It is not your computer. It didn't download wrong. It's not formatted wrong. It's simply that I missed. I know I edited it out, so I don't know how you're hearing that, honestly. But anyway, thank you for that, Dennis. I can count on you when there's something that's technically wrong with the site or anything, and you bring it to my attention. It really is helpful because I hate to put out stuff when I know that it's not the best quality, or when I don't know it's not the best quality and it comes to light after. So thank you, Dennis, and I hope you enjoy the Rumble. Here we go. Let's get to the next one. Only a couple more, and Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan are coming, I promise.
What's up, everybody? The one, the only, Silver Fox from Houston, Texas. Rocky G here. Not going to take up too much of y'all's time because I've been doing a lot of talking this Sunday after the Rumble with Matt. I just wanted to tell everybody to stay safe and everybody make it to the Rumble. The reason why I say this is that last night in my part of town we experienced a tornado, and it just went right behind my apartment complex. A couple of trees went down, but all the surrounding streets were just demolished. So I hope everybody out there stays safe. I hope if you're traveling to the Rumble, stay safe. Michael Ritter, John Brosco, I will see you guys there. We're going to touch base and get some pictures with the sign that I printed for the podcast. I got one little thing to say about it was on SmackDown. Selena Vega was on commentary, and she had mentioned the Usos, but she called them the Osos, and it just cracked me up. I played it back a few times to make sure I was hearing it right, and she definitely said Osos instead of Usos. So I was just wondering if you caught that yourself, Matt, or if anybody else caught that. That's the only thing I want to say for this week. Looking forward to hearing Mr. and Mrs. Casual Fan, and everybody, stay Uzi, Don't have a good day. Have a great day. I'll talk to y'all this weekend. Bye.
Rocky T, I'm really looking forward to our conversation that we're going to have. And if you're wondering when that Royal Rumble review show is happening, we're recording on a Sunday, or hopefully earlier in the day on Sunday. That way you guys can get up, wake up, and hear the review show. That's the plan. So we're gonna do our best to make sure that it's timed right, that after the Rumble, everyone gets a nice night's sleep and digests everything that happened. You'll be able to get on and hit that play button for Rocky T and myself as we break down the Royal Rumble piece by piece. And there's going to be a lot to discuss, and I'm really excited to hear your in-person perspective, as well as, see the sign. You showed me the sign. I know you sent me a picture, but also if you're going to meet up with some of the co-hosts, that's really cool. And, if that makes it on camera, I'll be very, again, I'm not expecting it, but if it ever did, I'll be, it'll tickle my fancy, as they say. So, no, I did not catch the Zelina Vega calling the Usos the Osos. I didn't catch that. I appreciate you, with that level of detail in mind, catching that. Was that on purpose? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know if she was trying to be funny or what that means. But maybe she just said it by accident. It's a very real possibility too. But no, I did not catch that. I don't know if anyone else did. Of Zelina Vega on commentary calling the Usos the Osos. Funny though it is, but I gotta say, Zelina Vega, it seems to get herself in these positions of being a manager for some kind of faction, and you think things are going to take off, and then she gets relegated to the just kind of the lower mid card and I don't understand it. Her biggest moment in her career was winning the Queen of the Ring, i.e. Queen's Crown, and she just went on this generic run as, I'm suddenly a queen and I've adopted this fake accent and everyone's my subjects. It's the most just trivial, elementary version of somebody winning a king or queen of the ring. And I don't know. I'm glad she got rid of that, stripped that from her personality, and just went with who she is. And that's a badass, great speaking, very just commanding presence of a person. And I think there's much more to Zelina than we've seen. But for now, I'm okay with her role. But eventually, I think she should insert herself back into actually wrestling at some point. But thank you, Rocky. Again, looking forward to talking with you. And let's get to our final voicemail, guys, because I know you guys are looking for Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan. So one more, and we're gonna get to them. So here we go.
The caterpillar lays in wait, resting, waiting for the time to emerge from the cocoon, knowing full well the ramifications and the reactions that will happen once this caterpillar emerges as a butterfly. As we all know, a flap of a butterfly's wing can have lasting effects on everything else around them, including the WWE podcast. The time is coming soon. I hope you are ready. We hope you are ready. The time is coming. WrestleMania weekend. No one's safe. No one! What the? What?
All right. Well, I think somebody has been taking notes from Bray Wyatt promos when it comes to cryptic messaging. So again, the teases and the ominous threats and warnings continue. And given that we have, a little over 2 months and change until WrestleMania, the threats and the clues are going to continue. So looking forward to being threatened. I guess. Oh, God. All right. So, very good, guys. Thank you to all the callers. And let's just dive into it. We're going to get to Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan right now. And in between, of course, you'll hear a bit of a promo for their new show called Good Morning, debuting January 30th. Really, really excited about this. And let's just dive into it, guys. Again, consider going ad-free on Apple Podcasts for 1 week for free and then $2.99 a month, or on patreon.com/WWE podcast. And you get a Patreon subscription, but also you get to be a part of the wrestling community on Discord, and it's a great way to interact during the pay-per-view. Let me just put it that way. All right. Thank you, everybody. Again, you're going to hear from me a lot this week, hopefully with more co-hosts, as we cover Royal Rumble preview, the Royal Rumble itself, the aftermath, the fallout. Of course, we've got Retro coming this week. We've got the SmackDown review from Michael Ritter and John Carrasco. We've also got, of course, the Monday Night Raw review. There's just so much stacked up, and we've even got more hosts after that. All right, everybody, thanks so much. Let's get to it.
Good morning, WWE Podcast. My name is Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan.
And this is Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan.
And we want to tell you about our newest weekly podcast show called
Good Morning WWE.
On Good Morning WWE, you can expect
wrestling news, rumors, and special guest interviews.
Our first episode will drop right here on the WWE Podcast January the 30th. So please check it out to get all of your news, rumors, update from the Casual Wrestling couple. Now, enough of that. Glad we got that out of the way. How you guys doing?
Hey.
We back. We taking over. So guess what? No news, no rumors. Only picks, predictions, rants, raves, and fun.
That's right.
So guess what? We're feeling generous tonight. We're going to give you our picks and our thoughts up front. Because don't nobody want to wait to the end. I get it. We get it.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to hop right into this. Instead of reading the letter, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about, which is the Royal Rumble. So we're going to start off with Roman Reigns versus KO.
I think we're in agreement.
I think we all, everybody at home, you the twos, and we the ones. Roman Reigns to reign and retain over KO.
That's right.
Lock it in. Book it.
Over.
Vegas favorite, Roman Reigns. All right, next we got Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Who you got, babe?
Bianca
Belair. And guess what? I agree, Bianca Belair. Now, I think it's gonna be some Uncle Howdy gonna show up, but I think he gonna mess Alexa up, and Bianca gonna hit her with that KOD 1, 2, 3. That's right.
Ding ding.
All right, we're gonna move on to Bray Wyatt. Speaking of Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt versus L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I like L.A. Knight.
He's cool.
Hey, and what they say, a Mountain Dew pitch black match. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna find out. You know, the rumor is gonna be some neon in there. For real.
Okay, cool.
There we go. All right, who we got on the picks?
We got Bray.
We got Bray Wyatt. So shout out to Bray Wyatt, another Vegas favorite. Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's his first match on TV, right? Yeah.
True.
So
True.
I don't see him losing. Shout out to LA Knight.
Right.
All right. And guess what? Let's keep moving. We're going to go to the women's Royal Rumble match.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm going to give you guys the Vegas favorites real quick. Number 1, Rhea Ripley.
Ooh.
Number 2, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Number 3, Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay.
Number 4, Bayley.
Cool.
And number 5, Alexa Bliss.
Oh.
So those are your top 5 Vegas odds, with Rhea being the number 1 favorite overall in Vegas. Now, since we got that out of the way, Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan, who do you think is going to win the 2023 Royal Rumble for the women?
Well, my first pick is Sonya Deville.
Ooh, Sonya Deville, dark horse pick.
I just feel like she keeps getting more and more relevant the closer we're getting.
Hey, it's funny. She keeps talking about it.
She does.
She talks about it. So
and she said she gonna find her way. So I believe her. She gonna find her way for Charlotte.
You know, I want them to make her more credible. I feel like that's the only problem she has. But guess what? I could see that pick happening. Dark horse, write it down.
That's right.
Bet some money on Sonya. So let's move on. So let me tell you who I think. So we're going to give you our 1 and our 2. Okay? So my number 1, Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is her year. This is her moment. Judgment Day going crazy. Dom doing his thing. You know, it says straight up for Rhea Ripley.
Exactly.
So that's my pick. So who you got number 2? You got number 2 for this one?
I said Rhea.
She said Rhea for 2.
I would like to see
so there
Rhea
it
go
is.
further. That's awesome. Yeah.
My number 2 is blank because I'm putting it all on Rhea.
He put all his
all on
black.
Betting it all on black. Bet on the Vegas favorite, Rhea Ripley for Judgment Day. All right, now who do you think in the women's will have the most eliminations? Because, you know, every year it's always spotlight on who has the most eliminations. So who do you think will have the most eliminations on the night?
For men or women?
For women. We're going to do the women.
Raquel
Rodriguez. I can really see that.
Happening.
You can see her having a big night, guys, because they really pushing her. She's getting the sniff around the title picture right now. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I can see Raquel Rodriguez having the most eliminations.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan, what I tell you earlier, we've been it all on black. Rhea Ripley, most eliminations. Rhea Ripley to win it. I'm telling you guys, I'm pushing it to the middle of the table.
Let's go.
It's Rhea night. Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to the men Royal Rumble. So let me give you the Vegas odds again. Top 5. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. Number 2, the honorary Uso. Sami Zayn, a.k.a. Sammy Uso. Number 3, The Rock. Can you smell it? Number 4, Seth freaking Rollins. Come on. Yes. Number 5, KO. So those are your top 5 odds, and I want to give you guys something now. I seen something strange on Bet Online. They had Stone Cold number 2, but they got it locked. So I wonder what's happening now, WWE. Could we see Stone Cold Steve Austin, rumor, in the Royal Rumble?
It's possible.
It's possible.
I think
but anyway, so it gave you the top 5 Vegas picks. Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I said we're going to give you our 1 and our 2 for each one. So we're going to start with our 2. Let's start with the 2.
Okay.
So number 2, who do you think? Number 2, second best odds. And Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan, who do you think? Number 2. Cody Rhodes. Ooh, Cody Rhodes. Okay. So Miss Casual Wrestling Fan is saying that she thinks her number 1 pick is going to win it. Yeah. But if her number 1 pick don't win it, then she thinks Cody Rhodes is going to win this thing. So let me give you my number 2 pick. So that means if my number 1 don't win it, I think my number 2 is going to win it. And my number 2 pick is Seth freaking Rollins. Burn it down. Because I'm not going to lie, I can see Seth winning it all. You know, I can see this. But we're going to move on. Let's go to the next one. Who is your number 1 pick? Your pick to win the men's Royal Rumble. Miss Casual Wrestling Fan, tell the people at home who you think.
On this piece of paper here,
on this piece of paper?
Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. Oh!
I can see it. This is going to be his year.
I could see that. I love the pick.
Going through this whole slow transition of something.
Yes.
Just to put it over the top. I'm just saying.
Seth freaking Rollins is hot.
And then he'll go after Roman.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. He go right after Roman.
I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. I have been on tape saying that Cody Rhodes should be the one to take it, and that's my pick. But I'm gonna be honest to you, the way Seth's been acting, wouldn't mind if it was Seth Rollins to take it off of Roman. Now I don't know if WrestleMania is the spot, but we're not gonna get that far. Now, Miss Casual Wrestling Fan, great pick. Her number 1 is Seth freaking Rollins. Her number 2 is Cody Rhodes.
Who's your number 1?
Number 1 for me, who I'm picking to win the 2023 Royal Rumble, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Now,
I don't hate. We have the opposites.
That's funny. Exactly. Her 1 is my 2. My 1 is your 2. So you can lock those in.
Yes.
I think honest. How does Vegas? Well, Vegas got Sammy number 2, and they got Seth number 4. So we throwing Vegas out the window now. Y'all listen. Y'all listen to the Casual Wrestling couple. We get you right now. My number 1 is Cody Rhodes. He has exhibited, just from all the vignettes we've been getting about him, it's like they're trying to build him up. He's going to be the next guy. Now, they could be swerving us. This could be a swerve. But in all actuality, I think that he's going to capture it. And if he doesn't, I agree, Seth freaking Rollins. Now, those was our picks. We wanted to go down the line with you guys because I know a lot of times we allude to what we would pick or we would do, and we don't talk about it up front. So we should tell you how we feel up front. Now, with that being said, we're going to go to our first letter of the night. Ooh, oh, we forgot something, didn't we?
Most throwouts
See, look.
for Mr. and Mrs. on the men.
I love it. Miss Casual fan gets me in check every day. So, before we get to your first letter, which comes from us, New York Kyle, Casual Wrestling Kyle, shout out to you, player. But guess what? Hold on 1 second. We're going to read your letter. Now, the most eliminations in the men. You're right. Let's talk about that. So, we're going to go with you want to do the same? Yeah. We're going to go with your number one pick. Who do you think will have the most eliminations in the men's Royal Rumble match?
I said Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa. Ooh,
who'd you say?
I like Solo. I said Gunther.
No.
And I ain't going to do the slaps to the chest.
I'm not
but I'm going to say Gunther. You know what I mean? Shout out to Gunther. I like Gunther. Intercontinental champion. And guess what? We're going to get straight to your letter. New York Kyle, we haven't forgot about you.
Hey.
So, shout out to you. We're going to get straight to your letter, sir. In 3, 2, 1.
What's up, Casual Wrestling family? It's New York Kyle back again. I know I don't have a voicemail, and I don't really participate in the mailbag every week as much anymore. I wish I could. I'm just busy with life. That's all, so I do apologize to the podcast family for that.
Life gets in the way. We get it, man. You got to live your life. Ain't that right? Live your life. Hey.
But I was able to squeeze in an email this week because I had 2 for my favorite PPV. I'm not calling it PLE. Oh, okay. Of the year. And that is the Royal Rumble. So on to the predictions, including my predictions on who could return in the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, as well as my bold prediction about what Sami Zayn's final test is with Roman Reigns mentioned on Raw this week.
All right, let's get into it. Let's
do it. So first off, is Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a pitch black match? I think Bray Wyatt will win, but LA Knight is going to look very good in defeat and be elevated more than he already has in the feud.
Well, guess what? Vegas agrees with you. And guess what? Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling fan agrees with you.
That's
so,
right.
Hey, that pick's a lock, sir. I think Bray Wyatt will go over. It's a chance LA Knight can win, but you know.
Next up is Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. I think Bianca Belair retains, but after the match, there will be some kind of interaction between Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy again. Next is Roman Reigns defending...
Oh, hold on. He said Bianca to win?
Yes.
All right, so guess what? Vegas agrees with you. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling fan agree with you. We think that's a lock. Bianca Belair should beat Alexa Bliss. Just to put that out there, if I haven't said that. Come on now. I want Bianca to hold the belt till WrestleMania. All right, let's keep going.
Next is Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Kevin Owens. I think Roman Reigns retains after Sami Zayn helps him to try to prove himself to the bloodline.
Okay.
After the match, the final test for Sami Zayn is he has to give Kevin Owens a haluva kick right in front of Roman. But after thinking about it, Sami refuses. This causes a long silence, and then out of nowhere, Roman attacks Sami, much to Jey Uso's displeasure. The segment ends with Sami Zayn being carried away by medical staff.
Hey, guess what? Casual Wrestling Cal, I can see that happening. Yeah, it's Casual Wrestling Cal. Yeah. New York Cal.
Oh,
same, different nicknames, different monikers. But, yeah. I can see that happening. I agree with you. Vegas agrees with you. Miss Casual Wrestling fan agree with you. Roman Reigns is going to reign and retain. So any of those KO haters out there saying, man, Sammy's going to help KO. No, he not. Don't. Anyway, I'm not going to rant. I got a good one. I promise you guys. Somebody's going to say what I think they're going to say about them splitting them belts, and I'm going to go on a rant. So get ready, guys. Keep going. I like you, Captain.
Next is the Women's Royal Rumble match, which so far includes Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, Shayna Baszler, and Emma. I think Rhea Ripley wins to challenge Bianca Belair with potential returns being Naomi, Ronda Rousey, Shotzi, Lita, Trish Stratus, and Kairi, and Asuka. That's cool.
All right. Real. Yes. Vegas agrees with you.
We agree.
Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan agrees with you. And guess what? You guys this is going to be a good one. I think this one's going to be a route by Rhea. I think she's going to go through people left and right. And all the people you named, I can see them all coming besides Ronda. I mean, rumor is Ronda will not be there. That's the rumor. And yeah, let's keep moving.
Next is the Men's Royal Rumble match, which so far includes Kofi Kingston, Ricochet, Baron Corbin, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Santos Escobar, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Karrion Kross. Now, I think the returns will be Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, Edge, John Cena, Logan Paul, and Kurt Angle. Now, who do I think is winning? The match starts with the first two entries being Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Sami forced himself to enter this match. About halfway through the match, however, Sami's injuries from Roman earlier in the night start to affect him again, which forces him to again be forced to the back. Towards the end of the match, the final two are Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to finish that feud, as Cody eliminates Seth to win the Royal Rumble match. But wait, Cody Rhodes thinks he won, but Sami Zayn never got eliminated. Sami runs back out and eliminates Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble match and challenges Roman for WrestleMania.
All right. We're going to pack
That was a lot of details.
Now, I ain't going to lie, Casual Wrestling Fan, I agree with you on one point. I do think the final two will be Seth and Cody.
Yes.
I think it will end on that note, and regardless of who wins or loses, that's a way to put a chapter and a note on their feud.
Yes.
Now, you said something earlier. We'll get to the rest of it in a minute, but you said something earlier I want to talk about. Let's talk about possible returns.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't really talk about that. Your biggest person that you said was Randy.
Yeah, I know Randy's coming.
Randy Orton. Could you imagine hearing that music? That's a hit.
I mean, that's a pop.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
back.
His injuries were pretty bad.
Yeah, but they weren't as bad as they thought.
Okay, well, true.
But it was bad. I do agree.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think he'll come back. I don't think Bad Bunny. People have been rumoring Bad Bunny. But would he really do 2 years in a row? He did it last year.
I don't know. If he's a fan, he would.
Johnny Knoxville.
I can
see Jackass coming back.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's a good scenario.
What about Big E?
Oh,
what about Big E?
Big E could enter.
You gotta watch it. It's a lot of people that could sneak.
You do gotta watch
Rick
that.
Boogs, that's a good one, Kyle.
Yeah.
Rick Boogs. The crowd will go wild for, my name's Rick Boogs. So I'm ready to rock. But yeah, you had some good picks there. Let's keep moving. What else he said about Roman? Yes, Roman wins, Reigns retains. I could see him telling Sam to haluva kick him and him saying not to, and they beat him up. I mean, all that's plausible. Now, I don't know about Sammy winning. I could see that. That's a path. I feel like Cody Rhodes has a pathway.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth Rollins has a pathway.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sami Zayn has a pathway.
Yeah.
But I think Sami Zayn's pathway is Elimination Chamber.
Possibly.
I think Seth and Cody have the best pathway, and even people saying Stone Cold. But anyway, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
And with all of that being said, that's it for me this week. I'm very excited for this event, and I hope all of you guys in the family are too. Talk to you all next time, and enjoy the Royal Rumble. Peace.
Shout out to
and he threw the peace sign up, guys.
Shout out to Casual Wrestling Kyle. Peace sign from Kyle. That's our guy. Shout out to you. All right, now we're going to keep it pushing. And this next one comes to us from Joe Owen.
All right, Joe.
Shout out to Smoking Joe.
Hey, Smoking Joe.
So we're going to read your letter, sir, in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, WWE Podcast. By the time you read this, Raw 30 will have happened, so this could be a redundant email.
That's okay.
I'm not saying this is the best thing to do, but is it a possibility that The Rock cost Reigns the title at the Royal Rumble, resulting in a Reigns versus Rock grudge match at Mania Night 1 and allowing KO versus Cody main event on the next night? with Cody taking the title and holding it 4 months until SummerSlam, where a returning Roman would face him for it. Just an idea. Shoulder shrugs. Also, I know this seems unlikely, as taking the title off Roman just before Mania seems a stupid decision at this point, but it would free Roman up for The Rock without the title on the line. Also, keeping him looking strong as he lost due to Rock's shenanigans. It would also give Cody the huge Mania moment and leave an enormous main event Roman Cody for further down the line at either SummerSlam or Mania 40. That's all he said.
You finished him off? All right.
Yeah, I finished him off.
What's his name? Joe Owen.
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe. The reason why I let Miss Casual Wrestling Fan read your whole letter is because I didn't want to jump in, but I'm gonna jump in now. Now, what you wrote, Matt probably would like this crowd. I'm gonna be honest. Matt would probably be like, yeah, I agree, man. You wrote into the Casual Wrestling Fan today, buddy, with Miss Casual Wrestling Fan next to me. I don't like hearing that split the belt crowd. No.
Yeah, he
Roman
like
will remain champion until WrestleMania and beyond. And I know you guys think I'm just fanboying out for Roman. I'm just being honest. I can see what I see on TV. He's not dropping this belt. And I know everybody wants to say I want him to drop the belt. Oh, it could be better for somebody else. Roman's the biggest draw you got. You don't want Roman on night 1. You want Roman on night 2, holding both the belts. And then people say, oh my God, I don't want to see Roman versus The Rock with the belt on the line. Bro, the outcome's the same. Roman's not going to lose to The Rock with or without the belt. The belt don't change the outcome. It makes me feel like he's not going to win the belt, and he ain't going to beat Roman. Anyway, I'm not going to get that to you, Smoking Joe. I do thank you for writing in, and I'm not going to lie. If they had to take the belt off of him, that ain't a bad way to do it. It would give Cody some light, but I really don't want to see Cody self.
I agree.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done Cody self. I want that later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We still need to breathe. But anyway, shout out to Joe Owen, Smoking Joe.
Yeah.
Right back into us, man.
Thank you.
Hey, we like this. All right, let's go to Carson.
Hey,
shout out to Carson. We're going to listen to we're going to get straight into your letter, sir. In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, man. I have been a listener of this podcast for just over a year now.
Oh.
But I've never sent an email in, so I thought today would be the day.
Well, guess what, buddy? You picked a good day to write in to the Casual Wrestling couple. How you doing, Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan here? Let's get to your letter.
So, I was rewatching Bray Wyatt's return at Extreme Rules, and I noticed 2 things. One, when Bray Wyatt came out, he was wearing the Uncle Howdy mask, which I thought was weird considering Uncle Howdy is supposedly not him. And I also thought when a possible Wyatt 6 faction happens, they will all wear the masks. 2, the Firefly on SmackDown Funhouse technically didn't return last Friday on SmackDown because during Bray's return, all the puppets essentially came to life in the crowd, and there was a small bit where a really dark and dusty Firefly Funhouse was on camera, and Uncle Howdy had a small cryptic video package.
All right. That is good, but he did come out with the Uncle Howdy mask on.
He did.
He really did.
All right, moving on.
And then the puppets did. So, okay, I get what he's saying. I'm sorry, buddy. Like, when we get to talking about Bray Wyatt, I got lost, but now I get you. Extreme. He's talking about when he came back for the first time. Yes, he was wearing the Uncle Howdy mask.
He was.
But he did say on SmackDown, I am Uncle Howdy. He said that.
Yeah, he did.
So it's not like he didn't admit it. And maybe it is a point where everybody wears Uncle Howdy mask and everybody's Uncle Howdy. Maybe that's what he's saying. We all got an Uncle Howdy in us.
He probably is saying that there.
Because that's true. Everybody got a deep side.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the second point? I'm sorry.
And his second point was, he thought when a possible Wyatt 6 faction happens, they will all wear the mask.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
The Firefly Funhouse technically didn't return last Friday on SmackDown.
It happened. Okay, I get what you're saying now. So, yeah, you're totally right. And like I said, everybody got Uncle Howdy in them.
Yes. Also,
I want to buy Uncle Hattie mask.
I seen that they were selling them.
Yes, I want
Also, I realized on the WWE Network app, I'm not sure if this is still available in the U.S. As
It's
from
not.
my understanding, all WWE PLEs are on Peacock now.
That's right.
If you go to events and look at the Elimination Chamber poster, Roman Reigns is not on it, which potentially scraps any Sami versus Roman match. But it could also indicate that WWE Championship will be took of Roman and defended inside the Elimination Chamber where Seth wins and potentially sets up Cody versus Seth at Mania. And on that point, if Seth versus Cody was to happen, I feel like Seth turning fully heel again is the right way to go. And one last thing.
Yeah, finish him off.
And one last thing, which won't really be significant. When you were recording this Mailbag episode, because it is regarding Raw 30, is I really think the whole bloodline, EX The Rock, if he's there, is going to turn on Sami that night, and they are just going to humiliate him, and it is going to put so much heat on the bloodline. I am writing this at 9:45 p.m. UK time. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to maybe send another email in the future, but you probably won't hear from me for a while. All the best, Carson.
Shout out to Carson.
Hey, Carson.
All right, see,
Good
look,
letter.
You know what? You a first-time writer.
Yeah.
So shout out to you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for writing in. You picked a good week to do it. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan here. Now, you and Smoking Joe, y'all had some similar views there.
That's right.
So the fans want the belt off Roman, babe.
Yeah, I guess.
But guess what? Unfortunately, Mr. Carson, it's not going to happen. Roman Reigns holding that thing all the way to WrestleMania. Now, I agree with you guys. Now, no, I disagree with one point you made. I don't want to see Seth heel. I like him where he is. He's in a good point. He's a hot baby face. They need to just ride him to the moon. I honestly feel like Seth will get cheered over Cody right now. And that's something that you got to watch out for. Seth is so liked, and Cody's coming back kind of cold. I mean, they're trying to have vignettes and make you feel sympathy for him. But sympathy don't always garner, I want to cheer for this guy.
Right.
You might feel sorry for the guy Stone Cold stunnering, but you happy he just stunned his ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I think that he should stay face. They need to and that's why I feel like Seth should be the person to beat Roman for the belts. Look at the jet packet put on his back. Right. I mean, he could shoot right there to the moon. Seth Rollins all day long. And Cody Rhodes too, to an extent. But shout out to Carson. You had really good points, especially about Bray Wyatt. Keep watching, keep being decryptive. I guess, what's the word? I just butchered that.
You did.
But anyway, so we're going to keep it pushing. Our next one comes to us from Jackson from Melbourne. So shout out to Jackson. I love these international writers. All you guys, what is that, 3 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
International. Keep writing in. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan is here for all of you guys.
That's right.
And we're going to get to your letter, sir, in 3, 2, 1.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan. It's Jackson from Melbourne. First, I wanted to discuss potential Rumble returns, legend appearances, NXT stars, debuts. I fully expect Booker T, Jay White, Randy Orton, and his suspension lifted. Matt Riddle to be in the men's Rumble. Ooh. And on the women's side, I expect Mickie James and Naomi return. To be host, I've never been a fan of Naomi at all, but I feel the women's division really needs someone of her in the ring talent. Potential people, but unlikely, I see could be at the Rumble is Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, Mercedes Sasha Banks. I would absolutely pop for these two, as Zack Ryder was my second favorite wrestler ever. Oh. Obviously, after The Miz and Sasha Banks is my favorite all-time women wrestler. Some unlikely appearances I would like to happen is CM Punk, Miro, aka Rusev, and Chris Jericho. I know Jericho has zero chance, but I think it would be great for the world of wrestling to open up the sliding door between AEW and WWE.
Those are some good picks and returners, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Not to mention John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. I expect that we'll see the man that don't miss, Carmelo Hayes, on the Rumble.
Mello.
Alongside Braun Breaker as just a one-off for now, but a call-up in Cameron Grimes.
Boo. I don't like nothing. All right, now I like Carmelo Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Braun Breaker. I don't like Cameron Grimes.
What about Jericho and CM Punk?
Chris Jericho and CM Punk, hell no.
Miro?
But CM Punk, Chris Jericho,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to see Jericho one more time.
Jericho.
And
cool.
We don't watch AEW guys, so I know you guys like.
But we
I
like
watch
old
him every
Jericho.
night. Oh yeah, I like old Jericho. I like
young.
what did he say? I can't even do it. Anyway, but yeah, Riddle. It's about that time for Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Riddle. Just think if Riddle and Randy both came out.
That would make sense.
And then Randy RKO'd the hell out of him.
It'd be the time to do it.
Ooh-wee.
It'd be the time to do it.
Them some good picks though. Jackson. All right, let's keep going with this letter. Good picks.
Next, I wanted to give my Rumble predictions.
Huh?
I remember you loving how I booked the men's Survivor Games match, which I ultimately agree with the direction WWE went with. But let's see if you agree with me here on my bookings. Bray Wyatt be LA Knight.
Beast.
I think he means beats.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I love LA Knight, but I don't have much to say about this. LA Knight will get over without going over, in my opinion. I don't have any expectations for this match except for Bray winning.
All right. I agree with you. I like LA Knight. Yeah. I like him. And yes, Vegas agrees with you, sir. Mr. Cast Wrestling fan, we agree with you.
Yep.
I think it's Bray Wyatt Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Howdy gonna come out too.
That's right. Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. Vegas don't agree with me, and I know how much you guys will disagree with me with how much you love Belair, but I'm taking her to lose to Alexa Bliss.
Oh!
Might just be the fanboy in me, as Alexa is my second favorite all-time women's wrestler. Wow. But I'm taking her to win with outside interference from not only Uncle Howdy, but also Bray Wyatt. And the potential begging of the Wyatt Six, with 3 members being Alexa, Bray, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, but not being revealed as Uncle Howdy until Mania. Women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, let me get it.
Yeah.
All right, so no, I do not agree with you. No, Vegas don't agree with you.
No.
Miss Castle fan don't agree with
No.
you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jackson. I'm not gonna trash your pick because guess what? It could happen. You know what I mean? I do agree with you that Uncle Howdy will interfere in some shape, form, or fashion. So I mean, I can see Alexa getting the win. That's not how I would book it personally, because I don't want Bianca to go to lay down again like that. You know, the supernatural crap or Becky returning and beating in 30 seconds. I mean, those are things that tarnish your career. And I think right now, as a win over Alexa would really, not derail what they got going for Bianca, especially if they want Bianca versus Ripley at WrestleMania. You want to look strong as ever. But I can see you going that way. So,
yeah.
Shout out to Jackson.
Honestly, good job, Jackson. Women's Royal Rumble match. I mean, I think it's obvious Ripley wins, but a few potential dark horses to win, in my opinion, is Raquel Rodriguez or Alexa or Belair, depending on who loses earlier in the night.
Okay, now I'll say this. I agree with you on one point. If Bianca does lose, I'll pick her to win the Rumble. I agree with you on that. If they do pull that belt off of her, they would want to build her real back quick, and that's a quick way to build her right back up and win the Rumble. So I mean, ain't that what Brock did last year? Didn't Brock do the same crap?
Yep.
Then he lose at the Royal Rumble, and then maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, good way to end it. But I do think Ripley is the obvious pick. I can see Raquel winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
I can see it.
All right, let's keep mushing.
Men's Royal Rumble match. I give Cody Rhodes no chance. I love him so much.
What? 0?
I love him so much, and I'm disappointed I won't get to have my natural pop when he returns. But the fact that they have played his videos and announced his return at the Rumble makes me think that they're getting him back in our minds, so we aren't as disappointed when he doesn't win the match. The favorite to win in my eyes is Seth Rollins, and the dark horse I'm taking is Sami Zayn.
I agree. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That's a great way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Seth Rollins is a great pick, and if I was booking, I agree with you. I put it on Seth. I mean, hands down, and Sammy would be my two. Actually, I mean, I just don't want Sami Zayn versus Roman. I don't think that's the WrestleMania match. Like that doesn't say WrestleMania to me. Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. I mean, that doesn't. Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns is there. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns is there. But Sami Zayn ain't got the same hit. I love Sami though. Sami Uso. Let's keep going.
Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. I mean, come on. I love KO as much as the next person, but he ain't beating our tribal chief.
I'm glad you know.
Roman's gonna show up and smash KO.
Exactly. Roman Reigns and retains.
End of story.
Vegas agrees with you. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan agree with you.
Now, can we talk about Sonya Deville? I mean, if she goes against Charlotte in the end at the Rumble, she ain't winning.
Nope.
But can we please build her up to make her a legitimate contender?
Please.
She's great on the mic and great in ring.
Mm-hmm.
She has a legitimate MMA background and was in real life people would fear her.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance, who's been watching WWE since MITB last year.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. Sorry, guys. Last year said that before I even could, she knows absolutely nothing in the world of professional wrestling. In my opinion, if we had just one women's world title in mid-card championship, perfect way to build people like Sonya Deville or Liv Morgan up. Even just give Sonya a few rivalries, but don't involve the championship and build her to the championship. I don't understand WWE and why women barely have rivalries that don't involve the championship. Rarely. That's one thing I agree with Matt on. Finally, do you guys have a podcast yourselves that I can listen to? Because I love hearing your takes and I love your reasoning behind everything.
Hey, is that it?
Anyways, that's all for the week. Until Elimination Chamber, I'll write it again. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves.
All righty, there we go.
So let's talk about Sonya first.
All right, Jackson. You did a good letter on this one. So yeah, we're gonna start at the top, work our way down. That's Sonya, right. Deville. Mm-hmm. Guess what, guy? Miss Casual Wrestling Fan is very high on Sonya.
Yep.
I'm high on Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that Sonya could be your champion.
Man.
If they would build her and put her in the light where she's not always jobbing.
Right.
Now she does. Now, if we're gonna be honest, Sonya Deville is a high card jobber. That's what she is. If it's the champion, she jobs. If that person is going against the champion soon, she jobs. So it's not like she's a jobber like, you know, Xylee or Shayna Baszler. They lose the people that's not, you know what I mean? They lose the new people that's coming up.
Right.
That's not really Sonya's, area. So they could build her up, and they should build her up, and she will be credible.
Yes.
But yeah, how Sonya? Your takes?
I agree.
You agree?
I'm on every word of it.
There it is. All right. And you asked about our podcast. Guess what, buddy? Hey, right in time for you. Just because you wrote in, Jackson. Good morning, WWE. It's going to be right here on the WWE podcast starting January 30th. That's right, the Monday after the Royal Rumble. We're going to give you our takes with news, rumors, and special guest interviews. So check it out, buddy. And I'm glad you wrote in. We look forward to hearing from you for Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
And guess what, buddy? We on to the next one. So next, this one comes from Jim from the PA, Pennsylvania.
Hey, yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy from Philly.
Jimmy no, don't Philly. Do that.
Well, hopefully you're an Eagles fan. And guess what? Hold on.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, I got something for him. Oh, I got some. DJ Kuzmo, I know you wrote in, and when we get to your email, buddy, I got some words to say to you. And I ain't even told my old lady, but when I tell her, you're going to hear live how she feel.
Oh,
anyway, so we're going to get straight to your letter, Jim.
Set you up.
Jim from PA. Shout out to you.
All right, Mr. Jim.
We'll get to your letter in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, WWE Podcast is Jim from PA, Pennsylvania. Well, since The Rock wasn't at Raw 30, that makes me think Roman and The Rock won't happen till SummerSlam. With the Royal Rumble this Saturday, I can see Sammy costing Roman the match, but not the titles. and that will set up Roman to drop the WWE title at Elimination Chamber, inside the chamber where again Sami cost him the title. Then you will have Night 1 of WrestleMania. WWE title match champ versus Rumble winner. And Night 2, Roman versus Sami for the Universal title. Then when Rock and Roman happen, no titles will be involved. Lastly, my Night 1 main event should be Seth as champ versus Cody. What do you think? That's all for this week. Be safe.
Here we go again. Jim from PA. Shout out to you. If you've been listening to the show, to our other listeners, I think the fans just want to build off Roman.
I think they do.
I think, like honestly, Jim, see, you finna get feedback from these other people, and this ain't fair to you, but it's not happening. How many people? Let's be honest, guys. We've been taking over this show for over a year, and for the past 6 months, haven't we had people say they're gonna split the bills? They're gonna split the bills. They're gonna split the bills.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we say every time? No. There is no logical reason behind switching the belts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be honest. Let's be WWE. Your main seller, the top guy that sells everything, sells out arenas, sells out pay-per-views, sells out merch. We're gonna pull one of the belts off of him and think he won't look bad. Like, let's be honest with you guys. If WWE would do that to your favorite superstar, you say that was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But because you don't like Roman or feel like, oh, it's not fair, Raw don't have a belt. Raw do got a belt. It's Roman. He got both, and he comes on Raw. The bloodlines are always on Raw. Anyway, you're going to get me down a tangent. But, yes, a lot of people agree with you, sir, and I'm pretty sure Matt would agree with you. But Mr. and Gibbs, a casual wrestling fan, do not.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Sorry.
But thanks for writing in, Jim from PA.
Thank you.
That's the main thing. And you have an opinion, and your opinion matters. And people share your opinion, as you heard on this show. And that's what we're all about. Opinions getting out there. Regardless if we agree or disagree, we just happy you guys are writing in. Okay? So this next letter comes from Chris from Alberta. And we're going to get to your letter, sir, in a second. But I just want to let you know, all you guys, you write in and you tell us your opinion, and we totally agree. Whether I agree with you or disagree with you, that is your right to write in and have us read your letter, no matter how crazy it is. So I want to thank you, Jim from PA. I want to thank everybody who's wrote in so far. And we're going to go on to the next message. And this comes from Chris from Alberta, Canada. Shout out to Chris. Guess what? This international night, we have so many writers coming from all over the world. I love it. And I want you guys to keep telling us how you feel. Because here in America, we like wrestling. It's not as big as it used to be. But I like to see other people's views, especially from different countries. So all you guys writing in, guess what? Y'all telling us your opinions, and we love it. But we're going to get to your letter. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to do that to you. So we're going to get to your letter, sir, in 3, 2, 1.
This is Chris from Alberta, Canada.
Shout out to you.
So calling in costs a little for me, both in time and long distance charges. My WWE
Hey, you got to get off minutes, buddy. It's long distance. We got to stop the minutes, buddy.
My WWE experience has been enhanced by you and your team. I wanted to acknowledge the SmackDown team. Michael Ritter, you do a great job. Big Speaker John, I appreciate your dedication. The episodes you have done with top fives back and forth are a great addition to the podcast family. So,
shout out to Michael Ritter, by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Ritter. Shout out to the football function. Go check him out over there, too. That'll help him out, too.
So, I was hoping you both could mention 2 things you like about WWE currently, and 1 thing that could be better. It would be great if you both agreed with these things. Also, hello, our current European champion. Hope you beat your match.
Let's
and
start
now
with
our
the first
doctor.
one. What do you say? Pick 2 things we like and 1 thing we don't.
2 things you like about WWE currently and 1 thing that could be better.
Okay, all right. I like this. Hey, shout out to Chris from Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
I like this. So come on. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. What I think they're doing great. Number 1, all day long, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
I agree.
Just
so that means we agree.
All right. So that's number 1. Number 2. I'm going to let you go. You pick them. You want me to go? Okay. Let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna pick another Roman Reigns thing. Them actually letting Roman Reigns hold this belt, hopefully for over 1,000 days, because it'll never happen again. You guys are witnessing history, so you ought to be happy. It's history, historic.
I agree.
That's the two things I like. The stuff I don't like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The reason why I'm saying this is because me and my wife talked about this at length. Omos. I feel like as big as Omos is, his faces, you know, he's a big guy and he looks scary and they don't know what to do for him. They have no jobs for him, and when they do, he ends up jobbing. It's not bad to job to Bobby Lashley. He is a champion.
Right.
But, I mean, you got him jobbing to Braun Strowman. So, Omos, what do you think?
I agree.
I mean, yeah, we're going to stick with that one. All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry. Go on with his letter.
Go Rocky T.
Shout out to Rocky T. He part of the Castle Wrestling crew.
The growth of the new butterfly version at WrestleMania. Can we not get the payoff sooner? We all love you and your crew, and your appearance will be a dream come true. It's like fire in the midst of desire.
All right.
It's trash that can't be franchised. It's a Lunchable on the Super Bowl.
All right.
No more waiting. We need y'all now. Last and finally.
Shout out to us, I hope.
No Scary Movie. One reference on WWE podcast. I've had vivid image syndrome since the Mrs. Man reference came into the podcast. Side story, 2 years ago, I got a high five from Becky Lynch in Montacon, New Brunswick, by making a poster that said, "I'm gay for you, Becky," on orange poster board. I also wrote Seth Rollins for Burning Man 2020.
Hold on, Paul. I'm gay for you, Becky. Hey, y'all listening, y'all want a high five? You write some stuff like that. I see why you got a high five.
I also wrote Seth Rollins for Burning Man 2020.
Oh.
Hope their couplehood results in amazing things for 2023. Any thoughts, Matt, on them joining forces as an on-screen power couple?
No. I'm going to be honest. No. Well, they both kind of face. I mean, if it's now or never, because they both are face right now.
Right.
So, I mean, I can see that happen. I guess, you know, we power couples. I guess we can help them, you know what I mean, be power couples too, right?
Right.
All right. So, shout out to Chris from Alberta.
Thank you, Chris.
Alberta, sorry. And guess what? Man, it's International Night. Man, I got to tell Matt, when we come on, it's International Night. Once again, this is Thomas F. from Montreal.
Okay.
Shout out to Montreal, man. Hey. Shout out to all these international people writing in. Thank you, guys. You know, wrestling truly is worldwide, and you guys prove that.
Yes.
You know, we not too big to read y'all emails. I love you guys' opinions, your rants. And even though you want them to split the belts, that's okay. I love it. At least we agree on something.
That's right.
All right, let's keep going. So we're going out to, what's his name?
Thomas.
Thomas from Montreal. In 3, 2, 1.
Thomas F. from Montreal writing in again. I didn't make the mailbag last week, unfortunately.
Well, you made it this week.
I'm writing in mainly because of the Bloodline segment on Raw 30 this week.
Okay.
With the way they positioned the angle with Jay stopping Solo from hitting the Samoan spike on Sammy, coming full circle from when he used to despise Sammy and Solo, was one of his admirers. 2 words, pure cinema.
Yes.
It was sensational.
Yes. Like, that was so good, guys. I watched that segment again.
He did.
Like, I watched it twice today, which is the next day.
He did.
Like, that was pure gold. You know, the faces that Sami Zayn makes is incredible. Roman Reigns' intensity is crazy. And then out of nowhere is Jay. I wasn't expecting that. And then he had all the exhibits, which was funny, but it was true. I mean, Sami is proved he's part of the bloodline. So now, real quickly, I do want to say this, guys. To me, it matters how they pull Sami out of the group. I don't want Sami to betray them, because that makes Sami kind of look hilly. even though he could say you guys didn't trust me, it still doesn't really fly right with me. I need for them to put Sammy out the group because Sammy's the sad guy. You get empathy for him and you want to root for him. If I'm booking it, would have Sami Zayn win the Elimination Chamber and fight Roman the same night right after Elimination Chamber because that's going to be sympathy. You're going to be feeling for Sammy. Anytime he gets any offense, you're going to be wanting Sammy to win. And Sammy's going to lose, obviously. But that's how I would book it. But straight on your letter, I'm sorry, sir. I went on a little rant for you. That's okay.
The segment had me thinking, what if they're actually building up the storyline for Sammy and Roman at Mania and not the Chamber? I know I wrote in a few weeks ago mentioning that it would be Roman versus Sammy at the Chamber in Montreal, but the storytelling and positioning of Sami Zayn in this faction is really starting to make me believe that he'll end Roman's streak at Mania.
Man, I gotta say something. It's funny, you guys. This is how you know it's live and I haven't pre-read that. You just contradicted what I said. He just made a point. And he's from Montreal, right? And guess what? The Elimination Chamber was where? In Montreal. So shouldn't you want Sami Zayn versus Roman in Montreal? I mean, like, no offense, sir. You're kind of arguing against the home team here. Now, I will say, you are not the first person that's wrote in that said Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania. We've got several like that. So guess what? It's a consensus that's true, and that's what people want to see. So maybe I'm wrong thinking that ain't a big match. I don't think that Reigns is good as Seth Roman, personally. But you're right. I mean, the storytelling is good. Sami Zayn is great at what he's doing right now. So, hey, I can see it.
Of course, I think Roman will get to the 1,000-day mark. Just like you've been saying for months now. But I really think Sammy could be getting his long overdue title run like Kofi and Daniel Bryan.
I don't know if Sammy gets a belt out of this. And yeah, Matt has been saying there's going to be 1,000 days. He called it first. So shout out to Matt.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's time for Sammy to hold the belt. Like, I do want to see Sammy versus Roman as a Roman Reigns and a Bloodline fan. If they are going to split, I want them to kick Sammy out the group. And I want a chance to root for Sammy. I mean, Sammy needs his moment. I want Sammy to hit that haluva kick on Roman for the 1, 2, and then let it be Jay, the person that pulls the ref out the ring and looks at him like, I love you, bro, but I can't, I gotta be for blood. I mean, I think that's the moment. Then they screw Sammy and Roman walks out of there. That's how it happened. But to answer your question, I don't think Sammy could, but yes, they could feel sympathetic. I mean, he's hot, so yeah, they could put the belt on him. Anyway.
Also, we heard Roman say, your last test will be at the Royal Rumble on Saturday to Sammy. What do you think he's talking about? Making sure Roman retains or winning the Rumble to just lay down for Roman at Mania? Anyways, I'm so damn excited for the Rumble in the Chamber since I'll be in attendance for Elimination Chamber. As always, love to the podcast and looking forward to our conversation after the Chamber on Review Show. Take care. Thomas F. from Montreal.
Shout out to Thomas F. So, yeah, y'all heard it here first. Thomas F will be doing the weekend review with Matt after Elimination Chamber because he will be live in attendance. And what do you think the last test will be, bro?
I think he's somewhere around the right area.
You think it's him winning the Royal Rumble or him making sure he retains? Because
I think he's going to make sure he retains because if Sammy was to win, think about this hypothetically, guys. If Sammy was to win the Royal Rumble, he's going to be expected to challenge Roman. Like, Roman's going to want him to challenge him so Roman can have a free win.
Or like what Dude said, he won't come to him to lay down.
I agree.
You got to get out there and lay down.
No, seriously, that's a good synopsis.
Hey, I agree. Could you see him laying down? But Sammy would say no.
No, I'm pretty sure. If he's really for the bloodline, that's a real
Yeah,
test.
but that's dragging it pretty long. Now, I ain't going to lie, guys. Now, Miss Calzarella hit on a good point. If they did act like, how can you build how can you build a WrestleMania around will Sammy fight back or will he not? I mean, that does build anticipation because you would want to see if he is. And you could even see him like trying to treat him like a king, trying to treat him nice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, to come in a limo, hugging him like, yeah, we still on, right? We still got this plan, like, right? And just see his, like, I don't know, do I really want to do this? And then people trying to get to him and they beating him up, like, you're right. You can spin this to be actually very interesting.
You
so
You gotta watch them stories.
Yeah, I agree. So shout out
But yeah, thank you
to Thomas from Montreal.
Thank you, Thomas.
All right, we're coming back home to America, guys. Houston, Texas. Coming from Rocky T. But shout out to all our international writers. Like, you guys are great. You make this show great because you have great opinions, and most fans agree with you guys' opinions. So you're not wrong. Remember that. If I don't agree with your opinion, does not mean your opinion is wrong. Your opinion could be right, and mine could be wrong. But anyway, we're going on to our man Rocky T. Shout out to you, sir. And we're going to get to your letter in 3, 2, 1.
Rocky T from Houston, Texas. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. It's been a little minute since we last heard from y'all.
8 weeks.
Glad y'all are back this week and going forward. I'm just writing to say hi to the two of you. I'm looking forward to hearing the news and rumors episode y'all are coming out with. If y'all haven't heard yet, I will be at the Rumble with my honorary Ooh shirt on, and I will have my one finger in the sky to represent.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of email and voicemails for the 117th edition of the Mailbag this week. So, to keep it short, sweet, let me leave y'all with this little tweet. Here on WWE Podcast, we are local, we are stateside, and we are international. Shout out to all the hosts for their time and dedication to the podcast. Shout outs to everyone who sends in an email or voicemail every week. P.S. I know it's a big stadium, but keep a lookout for this sign I made for the podcast. Cool.
Shout out to you, Rocky T.
Thanks,
from
Rocky
Texas.
T.
And yeah, if you didn't know, we're coming out with a show. We're going to give you news, rumors, interviews. Good Morning WWE.
That's right.
Coming out January the 30th.
Yes.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Shout out to you for the honorary Ooh shirt.
That's right.
You know, I would see. I would wear my We the One shirt, but I think I pull out the God mode. If I was going to the Royal Rumble, I'd be in God mode. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to wear two.
It's up to you.
Like, sometimes, guys, you gotta be fashionable. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
We are international tonight. If you didn't know, now you know. All right, now this next one. Now, okay, you guys. Now, I ain't gonna put nobody out or nothing, but we don't know who this next one's from. But guess what? We're gonna read it anyway.
Here we go.
So, I'm sorry we can't give you your credit for this letter, but we're gonna read it. I know you're listening, and guess what? You write in and say, Matt, you didn't tell Mr. and Mrs. Castle Wrestling Fan my name. So we're gonna read your letter, ma'am or sir, in 3, 2, 1.
Hi. Hope all is well today. I'm here to share some of my WrestleMania match predictions. Number 1.
Hold on. WrestleMania match predictions,
yes,
guys.
Yes, you did, or he said.
Not Royal Rumble, not Elimination Chamber. We fast forwarding. So, all right. This fantasy book. Let's go.
Hi. All right. So, number 1. Bayley versus Trish Stratus. I choose Trish as Bayley's opponent because earlier this year on a Raw in October, it looked like they might have been setting up for a match at Mania number 2. Big E versus Xavier Woods versus Kofi Kingston.
Triple threat.
So yeah, he thinks Big E versus Xavier Woods and Kofi.
Big E versus Xavier and Kofi? Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that. That's a good match.
And then the whole Bayley and Trish thing.
I'm going to be honest. I don't really see that. I don't know who Bayley will be working with, but I don't think it'd be Trish. Yeah, I don't know.
Number 3. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. Number 4.
Everybody rumoring that, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I think Ronda's going to be gone a while, guys.
Number 4. Bianca versus Ripley.
Hey, I see that. That's, most probable. Put that number 1 on the list.
Number 5. John Cena versus LA Knight.
You know what? That ain't a bad match. If it ain't LA Knight, Austin Theory, I'm fine with that too. So yeah, that'll work.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay, if people keep rumoring that, I don't want to see that. Like, they both old.
Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I think that's trash too. But I mean, I don't want to pick trash on your picks. I mean, these are viable. That is a viable match. You can see that happening. So viability is there on that one.
Number 7. Gunther 6-man Intercontinental title ladder match.
Okay, I can see that too. I think Gunther win.
8. Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens.
I can see that. For the build, I guess. For the US build, I can see that.
9. Fatal 4-Way, Roman versus Rhodes versus Rollins versus Sammy.
Ooh. See, I like what you did there. You gave the best of all worlds. You put everybody together, and that's a nice little way to work it out. Okay, what else?
10. And lastly, Shinsuke Nakamura and a returning Rick Boogs versus Usos.
Usos.
That's all I got for you today. Thanks once again for uploading this content because sometimes it just gets me through the day.
Oh, well, we like to hear that. We're glad to get you through the day, whoever you are. Unfortunately, you was unnamed, so we can't give you the credit you deserve. But regardless, we hope you have a great Royal Rumble. You did have some good matches there, so I could see those happening. And, yeah, very viable. What do you think?
I agree.
All right, sounds good. So, well, we do thank you for writing in.
Yes, we do.
We're going to go on to the last email of the night.
Uh-oh.
And this one comes to us from DJ Kuzmo. Now, guess what?
Hey, DJ.
Shout out to DJ. Before we get to that, though, we got a bone to pick with him before we read his letter. Baby, he did something bad.
What did he do?
He is a Giants fan.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Kuzmo. You're a Giants fan, and you know, we like Kuzmo. But he was talking trash about the Eagles.
Was he?
Yeah. This fool said, you want to tell you what he said? I'm going to tell him, Kuzmo, they always chanting, fly, Eagle, fly. I wish they die, Eagle, die. Like, he was, yeah. All right, he might not say die, Eagles, die. I ain't going to put you out there like that. But hey, die, Rocky, die. But yeah, he was an Eagles hater. But guess what, sir? Them Giants got stomped.
By my Eagles.
Jay Hurts is not playing with you, and he not hurt.
Us Philly fans, and you know, us fans, we take a win very close to heart now.
Them Eagles is flying straight to the Super Bowl. You didn't know? You better start rooting for them. Jump on the bandwagon.
Watch them.
Hey, you better jump on while it's still time.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, I'm trying to help you out.
Jerseys are hot for
Guess what? How you feel about Dane Jones now?
Ooh.
Crickets.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to get to your letter, sir. We ain't going to hold no resentment. So we're going to get to your letter, sir, in 3, 2.
It's time for your favorite show takeover show. Each and every pay-per-view event for the Mailbag on the WWE unofficial podcast. Put your hands together and acknowledge your host for the most of Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan.
That's right.
And the Takeover Wrestling Crew.
That's us.
What's going on, Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling Fan?
Let's go.
It feels like months and months ago that y'all have hosted a Mailbag takeover.
8 weeks.
Hope all is well with y'all. How was y'all's holidays? How was y'all's New Year's?
That was so long ago.
It was, dude.
Hey, it was great.
It was great.
Miss Casual Wrestling Fan got me God mode.
I did.
Hey, love that t-shirt. You know how we do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had a good Christmas, good New Year's, getting ready for this Royal Rumble.
Yes, we are. Mine was pretty easygoing and chilled, hanging out with the family and a couple close friends. Just grateful for another year and improving health-wise from surgery from last year. Anyway, let's get back to pro wrestling talk with these, wait for it, Kuzmo's Royal Rumble prediction spoilers.
Hey, shout out to Kuzmo.
But before we get to the spoilers, I gotta ask a few questions in regards to the Rumble.
Let's go.
With only 3 matches on the card besides the men's and women's 30-persons Rumble, do you think WWE brings a 4th match? Like maybe the Usos versus the winners of Tag Team Tournament on SmackDown? Or do you think they have a Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville title match instead?
Okay, now if those are my options, I mean, we done seen Sonya Charlotte, twice? Once? At least once, if not twice.
I think twice.
No, we seen it once, and she keep wanting a second shot.
Right, okay, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think it's pay-per-view. Well, okay, it's Charlotte Flair, so Charlotte Flair have a 5-star match with a broom. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad match. But also the Usos, I just want to be about Roman and Sammy. I just think that should be the night. I think they got enough matches. I mean, both Royal Rumbles going to go a little bit over an hour. KO or Roman will probably go 20, 25. plus interest is 35. And then Bianca and Alexa, they won't go long. What do you think they go 15? So I mean, okay, so theoretically they could add another match. So yeah. Give me the tag team. I had to choose one. Bloodline tag team.
I think it's the Charlotte thing.
You
That's
think
just
Charlotte?
my opinion.
I mean, I can see it.
I'm just over here.
I can see it. That's a good pick.
Number 1. More questions. Do you think at some point in the future that the Royal Rumble turns into a 2-night event? Since both Rumbles, the men's and women's, take up a considerable amount of time. I'm thinking WWE might eventually turn it into a 2-night event and have the women's Rumble on Saturday and the men's Rumble on Sunday. All right, enough said on that.
I mean, that's viable. You could. I don't know if they would, but yeah, you could. I mean, Survivor Series ought to be on 2 nights then.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to the Kuzma Royal Rumble prediction spoilers now.
All right, Kuzma, let's go.
Number 1.
Kuzma.
Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
We know who's going to win.
Which I might think be the first match for the Rumble.
Probably.
I'm looking for Bianca to win this match and continue her reign as Raw Women's Champion.
Vegas agrees with you. Mr. and Mrs. Casarilla fan agree with you. That's a lock, sir. Bianca Belair.
Number 2.
Is on another level right now.
She is.
And she needs to win over Alexa way more than Alexa needs to win over her.
The Pitch Black match, sponsored by Mountain Dew of Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. Firstly, I gotta say, why is the match sponsored by Mountain Dew? Anyway, I'm not really a fan of Mountain Dew. I'm pretty much into Pepsi, Sprite, and Fanta. What about y'all? Y'all Mountain Dew fans?
No. Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, yeah, man.
Sprite occasionally for me, but other than that, water.
But that Mountain Dew Pitch Black, I tell you one thing, if I went to the show, I better get some free Pitch Black.
I'm trying to tell you. All right. Let's get back to the match and soda drinks of choice. I'm booking that. This is a tough one. I'm booking that LA Knight wins this match in some sort of hook or crook kind of way. So that storyline between these two continues. Because to me, I think Bray has a lot in store for LA Knight. And that this only is going to be the beginning of this in-depth storyline.
You know what? I mean, now that he puts it like that, I'll say this to you, sir. If they are going to do multiple matches, then LA Knight has to win one. So, yeah. I mean, I could totally see it that way. I pick Bray. Miss Casual Wrestling fan pick Bray. Vegas pick Bray. It's just his first match on live TV, so I really don't. Ain't this his first match on live TV? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really don't think Bray's gonna lose. That's just me.
Number 3, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship.
We know who's gonna win this one.
I'm booking that in a hard-fought match. The Roman Reigns wins this match and the help of Sami Zayn.
Reigns in return.
Remember when Roman said on the past Monday Night Raw how Sami has to pass a test to prove his loyalty to the bloodline?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be Sami's test, and I think at some point we will see Sami be the one to interfere and cost Kevin Owens the match.
I can see it. I mean, I think you got it booked out right. Roman Reigns retain. Mr. and Mrs. Casual Wrestling fan agree with you. Vegas agrees with you. The world agrees with you. KO ain't winning that match.
Right.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So
it's not.
I think that's a lock, sir.
Yeah, and now, firstly, the Women's Rumble. The 30 Women Rumble. Here are my 4 possible picks to win the Women's Rumble. Number 1,
You said Ripley. 4 possible?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your number 1 pick is who?
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Hey, I agree with you, sir. That's my pick. Let's go.
2, Becky Lynch.
All right.
3, Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Number 4, Raquel Rodriguez.
You got better before.
2 dark horses that can win. Returning Naomi and Shayna Baszler.
All right, I don't see Naomi. Shayna Baszler ain't big enough name, but all your other picks are viable.
And finally.
Especially Rip.
Yeah, that's true. And finally, here are my 4 possible picks to win the Men's Rumble. Number 1.
How you pick 4? What we charge? All right, so if your first one win, you get 100 points. Your second one, you get 50.
Right.
Your third one, you get 25. And your fourth one, you get 5. Let's go.
Seth Rollins. Number 2. Austin
All right,
Theory.
Seth Rollins, that's a good pick. Who? Austin Theory? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That should be Dark Horse.
Number 3. Kevin Owens. Number 4. Cody Rhodes. 2 dark horses that could win. John Cena and Sami Zayn.
Okay, now DJ, you are homie, so we're gonna give it to you raw. Number 1, Seth Rollins. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Austin Theory. The only problem I have with Austin Theory winning it, then why would he be crying about his cash in? He couldn't cash in on Roman.
Right.
What would be different if you had to have a match with Roman? Like, what's different? So, KO. If Kevin Owens win this match, I'll stop watching. I do not want to see KO versus Roman at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, Cody. Good pick. Dark Horse John Cena. I do not want to see John Cena, Roman Reigns no more. And Sami Zayn, yeah, that's viable as hell. So, yeah, just take out. Yeah, it don't matter which one to take out. You got it. It's your picks.
That's all for now. See y'all in the Discord on Saturday night for the Rumble. And stealing a line from the Hunger Games movie. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be forever in your favor.
Hey, that was lit. That's how they ought to start.
DJ Kuzmo, peace out.
Peace. That's how they ought to do it for the Royal Rumble. Like,
that'd be
voice.
funny.
That'd be nice.
That would be hilarious.
Hey, but you had some good picks, DJ. I like your picks.
DJ.
You know what I mean? Let me check, make sure we ain't got no extra letters. And we do not.
No, we don't.
So, shout out to everybody who's listening. Shout out to all our viewers and all our international writers. Like,
thank you so much.
Thank y'all for writing in. If we don't say it enough, thank you. You the reason why we're here. Check out our new show that's dropping January the 30th. Good Morning WWE. It's starting live Monday, right after Royal Rumble. We're going to give you news. We're going to give you rumors. We're going to give you headlines. We're going to give it all to you. So we're going to sign off to you right now because we ain't got nothing else to do. With the only, and yeah, by the way, you'll see us again for Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
So you can write in next month. And we're going to end it like we always do. You the twos, and we the ones.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.